Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Kanyan, and I am your one and only solo host for this and every podcast. Welcome, Dum-Dums, to episode 16. Episode 16. That'll be 4 I've done this week. 13, 14, 15, and 16. Unprecedented. There is precedented. Can you be precedented? There's a precedent. If you're from south of the border, you say, hey, there's a precedent. Who is he? Presented. Now I'm all confused. But anyway, this is unprecedented. Oh, I just messed myself up. Unprecedented. I'm just going to keep on saying it. Anyway, this hasn't been done. I haven't done 4 in a week. So, it makes no difference to you. You're not listening anyway. Except for you. You're listening. The other guy and the other girl, they're not listening. But you're listening. I appreciate that. Well, welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. It's the fastest podcast on earth. I'm just leaving work. It is Wednesday morning. I'm on my way back home. It's about a 45 to 50 minute commute. And I just stopped to get a cup of coffee and a bagel, a poppy seed bagel with a dab of cream cheese, apparently. A little chintzy on the cream cheese. So, I usually don't eat on the way home. And I definitely don't eat during the podcast. But, in this case, I'm going to make an exception. Because I am really, really tired. I just texted my wife. Voice texted, I am so tired. So, I got myself a coffee, a small coffee, not large, because you're not supposed to have coffee before you go to bed. And I gotta be back at work in 10 hours. There's a sip. So I gotta get some sleep. I figured I'll be home by 8 a.m., hopefully in bed by 9 a.m. Really, Dave? An hour to get to bed? Yeah, it could. Hopefully it won't. I got a shower. You take an hour shower? No. I got water bottles to fill. Did you drink a lot of water yesterday? Yeah, I drank a few bottles, probably about 60 ounces, maybe 80 ounces. I got to see about laundry. I don't know. There's little knick-knacky things to do. I want to do a good job, brushing my teeth, things like that. I have an appointment coming up. Anyway, I'm eating. I want to keep the pace up because I know I'm going to drop dead pretty soon. There's no way I'm going to do a long podcast. That'd be amazing. The other day I did a 75-minute podcast, which I'm calling, what was that, episode 14? Yeah, episode 14. Save the ambient. Listen to this podcast. Or should I say, listen to this podcast. Save the ambient. I don't want to bury the joke. Yeah, right? Listen to this podcast. Save the ambient. Nah, that doesn't sound right. Save the ambient. Listen to this podcast. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, yeah, and then I have another episode 13, which was commercial free. It's going to be called commercial free and 13 minutes too long. No, 12 minutes too long. 12 sounds funny. 13 doesn't sound funny. So 12 is a funny number. 13 is not that funny. 13 is unlucky. So, and then I haven't decided what episode 15 is going to be called. I forgot what episode 15 was already. I don't think it was much. I don't remember. And then now I'm doing 16. Why am I doing 16? Well, because I'm tired. I need something to do. And it's unprecedented that I would do 4 episodes in a week. So I figured, let me de-unprecedented. I want to unprecedented. So I'm doing it. It's my 4th episode. Do you have anything to say, Dave? Yeah, I got a couple of things. I got a couple of corrections, I guess. We got corrections. So one of the episodes I was talking about, I yawned. I think on episode 13, I yawned a thought out of my head, which is not uncommon on the show. For those of you, which are none, for those of you who listen to the show, which is none of you, I was telling a story the other day and I yawned. I wasn't telling a story, but I was saying something, then I yawned and I yawned the thought out of me, which is quite common with this podcast. So I was talking about a college-educated friend of mine, and then I decided to explain why I was referring to him as a college-educated friend as opposed to a non-college-educated friend, and there is a difference, and I acknowledge that difference. It's fine, you got a degree, good for you. So I had a friend of mine where I was talking about things I do on the internet. I think I was talking about Facebook, and one of the things that upsets me about Facebook, and I had a friend that I was posting videos, Dave's Video Jog Blog. Yeah, the only reason why I was posting it was really for fun, of course. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't trying to motivate anybody. I wasn't bragging. Who wants to see a middle-aged man running and sweating, which is what I did. I didn't record the whole run. I would just do a little epilogue, right? So they call it, an epilogue at the end of the run. I do like a couple of minutes of updating everybody on my running status. Well, anyway, it's not like I got a lot of love and support on that one. But I had a friend who said to me, "Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't comment on it." And I was like, "Well, why not?" "Well, I don't know." I mean, if you're a friend, and we're talking about Facebook here, but if you're a friend, if you're a real friend, not a Facebook friend, but a real friend from childhood, and you see a buddy of yours, and if you're a woman, you see a girlfriend of yours, whatever, a bestie, whatever they call it. Oh, that coffee's good. You see him doing something, you should support him. You should support him. Really, Dave, we're going to go down this road again about your bitterness and your anger towards former friends and acquaintances and all that? Well, yes and no. No, I'm just pointing out that it's very simple to do the right thing. Very simple. You see a friend doing something spectacular, or even a little bit less than spectacular, you don't have to post on their wall, and you don't have to write a long, manifesto. You just say, "Hey, Dave, great job, proud of you," or combination thereof. "Hey, Dave, saw the vid. Excellent." That's it. "Hey, Dave, really, how hard is it to comment on somebody's video or somebody's picture? Nice job." I could go down the list of all the fake book things to say, even if you don't mean it, But don't tell a guy, "Oh yeah, I saw it. I didn't say anything." That's not right. So that was the story I yawned out of my head. It was amazing. I almost got back on track. I think that's episode 13. I almost got back on track. I danced around it, but then I went about 13 minutes too long. And it's kind of hilarious to listen to in a way where, once again, the word degradation comes up and you hear me fall apart. It's kind of humorous, I think. Maybe not. Not to anybody, really, because nobody's listening to it, so that's fine. What was the other thing that I was talking about? I think I was talking about in episode 14. Oh, great. There's a garbage truck in front of me, and everything's blowing out of the back of the truck. All this garbage is flying out. It's so ridiculous. I'm driving into all this garbage trucks. Garbage. All this stuff is falling out. There's particles of rocks and dust and all pieces of trash. should be laws against this, I would think. You're not allowed to drive a dump truck going down the road and shouldn't have trash flying out of your bucket or whatever they call it. So I was talking about health and fitness, I think, or something like that. And I talked about something about the curve, how they grade you, something on, being on the curve. But I really wanted to say percentile. Curve is in there somewhere. They grade on a curve. I know that. I remember that term. But I really wanted to say percentile. You're in the 70th percentile or whatever percentile. And I don't remember what I was talking about. I just remember saying curve, and I really meant percentile. Another correction was I was discussing a movie called Remains of the Day. The Remains of the Day. So there's a day, and then there's the remains of the day. In other words, you go to work, you do all you got to do, and then the remains of the day is like what's left over at the end of the day. There's parts that are left over. Now that's your time for you. It's a small amount of time. It's not part of your work day. Well, anyway, Anthony Hopkins, who I mentioned, but I couldn't remember the female lead. It was Emma Thompson, 1992. This movie really affected me, kind of changed my life. Because he's a butler. He's a great butler. And he serves his lord and master of the mansion. I don't know his name. I guess, I don't know from what date all the way up to like World War II. And it turns out his master is kind of a Nazi. Or a Nazi sympathizer. A Nazi supporter. I think. And the butler's British, I'm pretty sure. And he's a great butler. He's probably one of the best in the world. And he's very dedicated. He knows his role. He understands the employee-employer relationship. And I think he knows, I know he knows, that even though he's great at what he does, and he might be the best, there's a million butlers, maybe there's 100 butlers, that want that job. So ultimately, he is expendable. And every mistake is noticed. Because when you're the butler of a very wealthy man in a huge mansion, you have to pay attention to detail. And I remember that from the Navy. Same exact thing. I always talk about attention to detail. But you could probably incorporate that into your employment. How many mistakes will they put up with? And how does that affect you and your team and everything? Mistakes are costly. They're time costly and they're financially costly. Nobody wants mistakes. So this butler really, really serves his lord. Nothing sexual, just, he just really runs a tight ship. And he doesn't really leave much for himself at the end of the day. He goes to his room and reads a book. He keeps romance at a distance. And that's where Emma Thompson comes in. She becomes the female counterpart, I guess, and makes a play for him. And I guess, I'm sorry, I'm still drinking this coffee. I guess he sees it as a not a nuisance, sort of a nuisance or a distraction and interference into what he sees as his purpose. And his purpose is to serve his Lord and Master. So how does that affect me? Well, I never really thought about the jobs that I did. I I always thought I did a good job. I always thought I did a great job. I always thought I put my best foot forward. But I was always distracted, because I never did anything I wanted to do. I was always doing something that I made money, but I never wanted to do any of it. But I didn't really, operate at a high level of efficiency or whatever. Nothing. It wasn't on my mind. All the excellence with a T, S, the plural of excellent. All the excellence that you can do, and then there's the other excellence. I never really gave that any thought. I just thought I was doing really good. I never thought I did excellent. I did anything that was excellent. But that inspired me afterwards. Have I been like that ever since? Well, I've considered it, but there's been jobs which I couldn't stand. I said, you know what? I'm not giving these guys my all. This job is the worst. I'm not going to be here for that much longer anyway. So yeah, I've bailed. I've bailed on jobs before. I didn't go in a broom closet and go to sleep for 2 hours, but I have bailed on jobs. So, The Remains of the Day, 1992, Emma Thompson and Anthony Hopkins. A great movie. And before that, they both were in a movie called Howard's End. And that was a good movie too. These are British movies, Merchant Ivory Productions, which is known for its low-budget films, I guess. But, well, maybe not so much low budget. Excellent movies made, at a particular price. Anyway, so, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm not even at Coxsackie yet. I can feel my eyes. Well, if I wasn't doing this podcast, I'd take a nap at the next rest area. But I want to get home, so I'm gonna push it. So that was that. Remains of the Day affected me. Ever since then, I want to be a much better employee. I used to be in business for myself years ago. That didn't go well, and it'd be hard for me to. I wouldn't do that again. And then, but this time around, if I was to be a boss, I'm pretty sure I'd be a good boss, and I'm pretty clear-minded and rational. But anyway, so that's that. I think there was another correction I'm trying to remember. Can't remember right now, so I'm not going to waste any time. My body's already degrading. I'm already having a hard time keeping my eyes open. That's not good. It's not good to admit on the phone either. During the podcast. Did I mention I have an email address? dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Dumbing. Dumbing. dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Be great to hear from you. If you're listening to the show on the app, try to click the button all the way to the left. That's the like button. And then the button next to that is the comment button. Leave a comment. Send me an email or leave me a comment right there on the app, and I'll check it out. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, I could use your input. I could use any involvement at all. Anybody out there? Any involvement at all would be fine. So what else did I do? I was talking about my musical choices the other day, and there was definitely other stuff I wanted to get to, but I can't remember it. That's not good. Let's see if I could. What was it I wanted to? Oh, mystery music. What was I wanted to talk to you about? I should probably pause this. Let me think about that. All right, we are back. Hey, it's great to be back. I took a little pause. I really took about a 15-second pause. I had to blow my nose anyway. I didn't want to do that on the air. But thank you for staying tuned to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Here's something I could talk about. So I mentioned that I'm buying a motorcycle. Am I buying a motorcycle? Well, at the very least... Hold on, let me cover my pee blocker. I hope that's not making too much noise. Sorry about that if I'm making noise. So I took my first motorcycle test drives the other day. One was like 15 miles. The other one was like 20 miles or something like that on 2 different bikes. And I got to tell you, it wasn't that much fun. It was a little nerve-wracking. You know, based on my inexperience, not for any other reason, just my inexperience, my uncertainty, and I kind of drove some back roads at Woodstock Harley Davidson, Woodstock, New York, and I don't know. I think I'm going to buy a bike. I just don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it, because so far the school was not fun. I don't know if it was fun for any of the students, not just me, because it was school. It was difficult. There was a lot of inexperienced riders. I think all 6 of us were inexperienced. So that's why we were at the school. And then we had the rain and all that. So there was a little bit of not fun. And then I took these test drives. And I had a little problem with the mirrors on the first bike because we forgot to adjust them. That was a rookie mistake. And then, so I couldn't see anything. I'm going down this busy road and it's 2 lanes on either end. And I look into the mirrors and I realized the only thing I could see is my shoulders. The mirrors were facing my shoulders. Oh my God. So I couldn't turn. I was afraid to turn left. I turned my head, but I couldn't see much. And I was a little bit afraid to really turn my head. So I said to myself, hey, you can't make any left turns. The only thing you could do is make a right turn and get the hell off this road. Go pull over and adjust these mirrors. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have any tools with me anyway. And the mirrors didn't really move. So I turned right, and I kept on turning right until I got back to Woodstock Harley Davidson. And that was a decent ride, but that bike was a little bit small for me. And CC wise, not height and length wise, just CC wise. I thought 750 would be nice, but it's kind of small. And perfect timing. My first yawn right at the second exit. And then the second bike was a 1200. So for those of you who don't know anything about motorcycles, like me, 1200 refers to the CCs. Cubic centimeters, 1200. So it's just, I think they go up to like 1600 or 1600 and something. So you have a 1200, you're 3/4 of the way there. When you have a 750, you're 2/4. Something like that. 750 times 2 is 1500. So you're about halfway there. And, there's just not enough engine. And I'm a big boy too, so I need a big engine. And it did. The 1200 it did ride smoother. So anyway, the point of this was not all that other stuff. Was to let you know, hey, you know what? I've been waiting a long time. I always say, be careful what you wish for. You might get it. So this isn't really a be careful thing. It's just, explore your options. They always say that. Explore them. See what happens. You don't know if you're going to like something until you do it. And I went for the bike ride, and I didn't hate it. I just didn't really care that much about it. But a buddy of mine says, Dave, that's going to come with experience. The more experience you have, the more intuitive, all your controls are and all that stuff, and you're going to really enjoy it. Because I did have to pay attention to where the brakes were. I was like, where's my right foot? Where's my right foot? Is it on the brake? Is it on the brake? All right, is my right hand on the brake? Should it be on the brake, or should it just be on the throttle? All right, what about my left hand? Clutch? Where's the clutch? All right, how do I downshift? It was a constant barrage of thoughts, making sure that I didn't want to go end over end if I had to stop short, and I knew how to downshift and whatever else I needed to do. Oh, it was a struggle. And I'm not a putz. It's not like I'm a putz on a bike. I mean, once I got going, I was fine. And I got going quickly. It was just, I just not used to being on a bike. So it was a little nerve-wracking. We'll see. I'm probably going to buy one this year and then I'll go riding as much as possible. Probably going to buy a used bike. What else is there? I thought that was interesting. I wasn't sure if I was going to really love it. Maybe this is the opposite of most of the things in my life, where I don't really love it, then I come to love it, as opposed to things that I think I'm really going to love, then I realize it wasn't that big of a deal. But I do feel like I can check off motorcycle riding on my bucket list. Like, I don't really have to follow through with the purchase, and I don't really have to ride again. I really don't. But I do want to see what it's like to have one in my possession, in my ownership, and how often I can ride. Like, will I ride to work? I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm looking at the clock here. It looks like 25 minutes. That's a nice shorty. Let's not stretch it. I'm going to start yawning any minute now. And I think there was something else I wanted to talk about. So maybe another correction or something like that. But I don't remember. So let's just take this opportunity to end the show on an awake and upbeat note. So folks. Hey, you, one guy. Hey, you. Hey, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Try to share this episode on Facebook or any of my episodes. The link to my app or whatever. You know, try to support if you can. Don't be a douche. So, I know I got one person who's listened. And I think there was another guy at my job that said he was really trying hard to listen. And that was a couple of days ago. And then he hasn't smiled or said anything to me in the last couple of days. So, my guess is he found the podcast and then he realized, boy, this sucks. How do I tell this guy? I guess I don't tell him. And I saw him last night. He didn't say nothing. But I'm not going to ask him about it because I never told him to watch it. He took it upon himself. So, he probably doesn't like it that much. All right. Well, I can definitely feel it in my eyes. I can feel it in my face. The time has come to say goodbye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, appreciate you being a part of the fastest podcast on earth here at Dumbing It Down with Dave. Oh boy, yep, see? Told you just in time. Yeah, Dumbing It Down with Dave, Facebook, Dumbing It Down with Dave at Yahoo email. Be great to hear from you. If I can get 1 or 2 letters a week, that'd be phenomenal, especially if I'm doing 4 episodes. So this way you can comment and I can reply. That really helps me out show-wise. So, that's it. No, I'm still under a half an hour. That's great. All right, that's really what I really wanted to do is half-hour shows. That's all I wanted to do. So thank you, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. And 4 is a lot this week. I'll see how many I can pick up next week. All right, until then, wow, I'm really tired. And good timing. Good day, good night, goodbye, good luck, great skills, Godspeed. Oh, what happened? Nobody let go of the light. It doesn't matter. Nobody let go of the light. Oh, you're daydreaming horribly. Yes, I was. I was daydreaming that the light was still on, and the light was still on somewhere. I don't even know what I'm talking about. See, look at that. Wow, that's pretty cool, don't you think? All right. I mean, I can go to drop that fast. That's pretty amazing. All right. Take care, folks. Thanks again. Dave Kanyan signing out. Have a great whatever it is that you're doing. Bye. Do we have any going out music? Here we go. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Please drive home safe. Oh, wow. Lucky me. I just realized, hey, guys, don't forget to listen to Comedy Pipe. Comedy Pipe. What's in the pipe? Comedy. Comedy Pipe. Comedy Pipe. Comedy Pipe. ComedyPipe.com. Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream is the show Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Pipe Dreams. La 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 la. Pipe Dreams. Da 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 da. All right, there you go. Pipe Dream is the show, 8 o'clock Wednesdays, and the Comedy Pipe Network is up and running. Give it an email. Give us all the emails and calls. All right, that's it. I got my plug in. That's fantastic. I feel guilty when I don't. Take care. Bye. Goodbye. Good day. Good luck. Good night. Great skills. Great skills. Take care.